Hello and welcome to the Legion Project podcast. I am your host, Eric,
And I'm Peter.
and we are here to discuss the landmark 50th issue of the third volume of the Legion of Superheroes, the last part of the conspiracy arc. We'll also spotlight more characters and who's, I believe. Join us for Life and Death and the End of Time.
Oh, wow. How monumental.
Yes.
Yeah, we are live, Eric.
In person.
Sitting across from each other. We're actually recording. I keep forgetting we're on camera.
Oh, right.
Live here at Comic Geek Speak Studio because this is the weekend of the 20th anniversary live event, which Eric made his way.
I did.
Yeah.
I could not miss this.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then as you thought of this opportunity, this idea for us to come here and record this bit of episode 50.
Just a little bit. We're just going to do like some of the preamble, if not all of the preamble, and then we're going to go back to our regular format of talking over Zoom to do the actual meat, issue 50, and anything that comes out after. But we thought, let's not pass up this opportunity. We're here. It's a monumental episode 50. It's also the 20th anniversary of CGS. You were at the 10th anniversary. That means you're going to have to be at the 30th anniversary.
I will be. I'll book my ticket today.
Amazing. So, yeah, we had to do this. We did several test runs on these mics because, you know, it's a little bit of a janky way it's put together, but hopefully this all works and I can do some editing in the back, end. But our first time ever in any podcast situation talking side by side.
In person, in real life, as they say.
Which you really can't beat. I mean, love the Zoom thing. We do it on CGS, obviously. But there's nothing we can see when we want to interrupt. We can make faces at each other. We're here. We can, it really is. We could not pass up this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully we teased it last episode. Hopefully it is special and it's special for us. And maybe hopefully it's special for the listeners.
Yeah. It's really special for us, but who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? So, apologies for the mic situation. If somebody's loud or somebody's soft, I'll try to fix it as much as
you're a wizard at this stuff, Peter. So.
Oh, sure. Thoughts about just quick thought. This is actually to pull the curtain back. This is the first time probably anybody's talked about the live event itself. We don't have to go too deep because that's not what the show's about. But what did your thoughts?
Amazing. Those who were not able to attend, I'm sorry because you missed out on a hell of an experience as a fan of CGS as I have been since 2006, early 2006.
Kane,
yeah, Kane with a Q on the forums. Although I wasn't much of a poster, but I listened to every episode since then. And getting to be here and talk with everybody, not just Peter and the CGS crew, which is amazing in and of itself, but these people that I've never met before. I don't even know if I've interacted with any of them online, other than Mike Atchison, of course.
Sure.
So it's just amazing to talk to these people and hear their stories. And just interact with them in those ways. I told Shane this earlier. I think you were off talking to somebody else at Golden Eagle Comics, where we just came from. That it really did kind of fill my spirit.
Awesome.
Having this communal experience with everybody that came to the 20th anniversary event. So thank you, thank everybody else involved with this. Just if there is a 30th anniversary, I highly encourage everybody out there who are fans of the show to come and experience that like I did. So.
And thank you for being part of the community, and that's what makes it all worth it. So you mentioned Golden Eagle. I should have brought in the issues that I purchased at Golden Eagle. I bought like 3 or 4 Superboy and the Legion that I was missing, and we almost came to blows over some secret origin issues featuring the Legion, and found out I didn't need any of them. So
Well, which is
I was
good.
just getting out some aggression, I
Yeah,
think. So
yeah. I did need one of those, so it turned out very much in my favor.
good, 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 good. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as we said, this is a perfect opportunity. We have a few topics. This is episode 50. It's our own anniversary in terms of numbers, right? And the Legion anniversary, obviously. Our very first episode was September 4th, 2017. We're coming up on 8 years. So that'll be its own anniversary. But in terms of the books we're reading, every episode number correlates to an issue number. So we will be discussing episode 50. I don't have any of my notes here. It's like you said, it's the big wrap up of the conspiracy story. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to these last 13 plus
13.
issues.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Just one more annual, right? So it's 14
Yeah. Yeah.
total issues for volume 3.
Yeah. Wow.
It's only taken us 8 years to get to this point. So maybe in a couple of years we'll be done with
We'll
these.
be done. Yeah, because we have a lot of plans of some other Tales spin-off episodes that we want to do. We want to make this last hurrah really fun. So, all right, episode 50. We have some topics. Let's talk about Legion currently popping up in
Mm.
current DC All-In issues. You want to start with the Superman thing? You
All right. Yeah.
don't have to go too deep, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I've only read a few of these, so but I thought I'd get Peter's opinion about this, and I'm curious what other people think about it too, because I've only read a few of the Superman all-in issues. I think I read 23 last, but in one of those issues, it was revealed there was appearance of the Time Trapper, which at first I was like, oh, that's really cool, and then they revealed, at least ostensibly, revealed who the Time Trapper is in one of those issues.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Are we going to spoil it? We should probably have to spoil it because I want to ask you the question, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just go ahead.
All right. Time Trapper is revealed to be Doomsday. I believe a future Doomsday. And I'm like, what the hell is that all about?
To be fair, it's a time trapper in my mind,
Okay.
right?
Not necessarily because
We've had so
other,
many.
and there's a reveal about the Time Trapper in, I believe, the next volume of the Legion of Superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
That really bothered me
Several,
too. Were
several
there several?
reveals. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'm
in an
forgetting.
odd sort of way.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's a reveal later in Legion of Three Worlds, and then there's a reveal in Zero Hour, and there's
Oh,
a
right.
reveal in
Yeah.
in what's the other one I'm thinking, or what am I thinking of? I don't know. Yeah, there's
Well,
it's the
given
time trapper.
yeah, but given all all the changes in the DC universe, everything counts now, right? That's all in. So I'm just gonna roll with it. But I thought that's a choice.
Hmm.
Doomsday as time trapper, right? So it's we'll see how it goes. And Peter did tease a little bit with me about which issue were you referring to?
Another Superman, a more recent Superman issue.
Okay.
Um, we talked about this. DC All In Special introduced the Evil Legion,
Right.
right? Under Darkseid's control. They're calling it the Omega Legion, right? Do you see
I
that?
saw that term being used for the first time in an article about something else we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just referred to them as the Dark Legion in my head
Yeah.
when I saw that in the All In special.
Right. Right. So yeah, obviously something's a brewing. This is the 90th year of DC Comics. And if they have to do some kind of event anniversary, if they, it's going to involve the absolute universe, because we're already seeing teases for Free Comic Book Day of
Oh,
like a mystery person,
oh no.
behind the absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder
Oh
Woman.
boy.
And I my theory is it's the absolute Monitor,
Oh,
but I don't know. Because DC just went through so many continuity changes, you know? They can't do it in the Prime DC universe. That would be stupid. But
Mm,
they could still
mm.
have some kind of event, even if it's not multiverse, even if it's, well, even if it's not rebooting or earth shattering, you
Please
know?
God, no.
Yeah, I
I
don't know. I hope
I
not.
wish I know why they do it and all that
I
stuff,
know. Yeah.
but I wish they'd kind of retire that for a
Yeah,
long
because
time.
between Dawn of DC and DC All In, their ducks are in a row. They're
Yeah,
great. Perfect. Leave it alone.
exactly.
We're good, you know? So this whole Dark Legion thing. Yeah, I mean, when we did an episode on the Time Trapper, I went through that deep dive that Mike Atchison likes to remind us
Yeah.
of the Time Trapper and it being based on a story that Edmund Hamilton wrote way, 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 way back, and this whole idea of the last man at the end of time, or the last person at the end of time. Which, you know, when the whole Doomsday thing came about, I said, yeah, you just use Time Trapper as any alternate. It could be in some other superhero comic, it can be whoever they need it for that person. You
Hmm.
could have an unlimited, absolute time trapper for whatever your needs be, because it doesn't matter. The future is the future.
Right. And I remember in the Great Darkness saga, we
Hmm.
saw a time trapper, which we thought was the time trapper, and it
Hmm.
was revealed to be a controller. Is
Hmm.
that right?
Hmm.
Which blew my mind then. And now I'm thinking about, well, to me, that's what Doomsday is
Hmm.
as time trapper, and that's what this other character in 5 years later was
Hmm.
in the overall. Uh, it's not the multiverse now, right? It's the not omniverse. What do they call it? Mega? I don't know what it is, but
I don't
whatever
know.
the DC multiverse thing is these days.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right. So we'll keep following that. And yeah, there is an Omega Legion tease out there. We're I was curious where they were gonna show up, and they're showing up in the main DC universe. So
Oh, I did not realize
yeah,
that.
so I'll leave it at that.
Holy moly!
Right. So it's like, what? And which I guess leads us to the next big, let's do the big one, right? The
Yeah, yeah,
Go ahead, you kick it off because you sent this to me as a text early morning before, was it this
yeah. It
morning?
was this morning.
Yeah, and I threw my phone against the wall.
All right. So I saw this morning. Was it posted today? It was actually posted Saturday.
Mm,
So that's yesterday as we record this, right?
yeah.
Um,
Today's Sunday,
so
March
this is
30th.
this
Yeah.
is from the Popverse website. I'll just read the headline. DC is reviving Legion of Superheroes, quote, soon, says DC architect and former writer Mark Waid. No, not the Omega Legion.
Hmm.
Yeah. Further, he says, I don't think I need to read the whole thing, but uh, he promises a Legion of Superheroes, quote, everyone will embrace real soon from DC Comics. Everyone will embrace, Peter. You're shaking your head. I don't understand. What's going on?
Just
So yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm on record. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
know.
on here and elsewhere that Mark Waid has had his hands involved with the Legion for a long time as an editor, as a writer. Does it need to be fresh and new with someone else? However, this is the thing I've held on to before we started recording. I really like what Mark Waid has been doing in the DC universe
Yeah.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
His World's Finest is amazing. His Justice League run is fun. I liked event parts of Event Leviathan. Really liked Batman versus Robin. The World's Finest brand is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like pre-crisis DC,
Mm-hmm.
spun with a modern vision.
Exactly.
My thing, I think I might have said on a previous episode was, okay, then do World's Finest Legion of Superheroes
Mm-hmm.
by Mark Waid, told in the height of who they are. And he references a few issues that he feels are like,
The Adventure Comics ones?
yeah, the
Yeah.
ones that he's like, this is what my Legion has always been based on, right? And
Yeah. 369 and 370 is, quote, a blueprint for everything I write.
mm, Everything I write Legion or everything I write?
That's all it says right
I'm
here.
gonna assume Legion, right? Like I think, since it's the Legion article, which to me then goes, okay, write world's finest Legion of superheroes. I'm
Yes,
all for that.
I would buy that in a heartbeat.
And then you can have your Omega Legion, and you can have your this Legion. It's kind of curious they're calling it the Omega Legion, right? Because in the 5 years later, Keith Giffen wanted to spin off the adult Legion
Uh huh.
and call them the Omega Men.
Oh, I think I maybe knew that.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much more to spoil anything about 5 years later, but yeah, that was they were going to be rebranded as the new Omega Men. So
Hmm.
this being the Omega Legion has multiple levels. So if he's doing that, I'm all for it. If he's writing a new Legion with a m- version of the team that he thinks we're all going to like, no matter where we started from, ooh,
That's the thing. The whole embrace people will embrace this what they like about the Legion or this Legion or whatever. During the Lightning Saga, they
mhm.
did the same thing. They brought back, quote unquote, the Legion while and coincidentally enough, Mark Wade's rebooted, three booted
Three
Legion,
boot.
yeah, was out, and he apparently, according to interviews I've read, he was blindsided by this,
Yeah.
and even though I was happy to see, again, my Legion back in the Lightning Saga, I don't, it always felt kind of wrong to me that they were doing that because you don't just go back to the well.
Hmm.
You have to do it differently. And they were already doing it differently with the three boot Legion. So I'm a little leery about this. Regardless, I'm less concerned about Mark Wade being directly involved in like writing the book or something. Like I said, I totally agree with you. If they do a World's Finest Legion,
Hmm.
that's the way to go.
Did you finish the Justice Society of America title?
I did.
And shows up there?
I don't remember.
The Legion.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah. The Legion you're talking about.
Yes. Well, ostensibly.
Yeah, because Yira was there, and right, like they look like the Gary Frank versions,
Oh,
and
yes, that's right.
yeah,
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
yeah,
Bad memory.
that's okay. That's all right. So
Uh,
it's like,
yeah, they already did it. What the heck?
but that again is a Jeff Johns book.
Yeah.
So we
Well,
have these two factions at DC trying to.
yes. Well, but Johns is gone,
Well, that's
right?
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Maybe that's why this is happening. Wade's like, haha,
I got the
I
keys back.
win.
We're
Give me that clubhouse.
going back to the rocket ship clubhouse
Oh
now.
my God. Yeah, mixed emotions.
Yes.
Mixed emotions is all
I
I can say.
Yeah, I'm trepidatious, cautiously optimistic,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah. We were talking even at Golden Eagle, Charlito was, who just wasn't a fan. He's a huge Legion of Superheroes. He wrote into us early on in our podcasting year, and he read the Bendis run and just was not a fan.
Yeah.
Had very harsh words for it. And we certainly did episodes on it, and we have our opinions.
Mhm.
And I told him my idea of like when they were doing the publicity for it, it seemed like Bendis had a twist that was coming.
Mhm.
And I remember in my brain, I was thinking, what if this is a future Legion, just like maybe a couple 100 years, and they just found a book or an old computer
Yeah.
and
Oh,
talked
yes.
about, oh, a time when there was a Legion with Saturn Girl and Cosmic Boy and Bouncing Boy and Polar Boy. So then a group of kids found it and just like almost like cosplayers just said, well, I'll be the new Sun Boy, right? But maybe they didn't even have Sun Boy's powers. Maybe they had Matter Eater lads, but they were like, I just like the name Sun Boy, right? But what can you do? Oh, I eat things. Well, that's not, oh, who cares? I want to be Sun Boy. Like kids who play cowboys and
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
who like who like want to be astronauts and want like they just and they want to be astronauts, but yet they dig under the earth, right? Like it doesn't matter to them, right? The name doesn't matter. They just play, right? What if you so then they go up against a villain who's like an ice being, and then the ice being is like, "Oh, you're an ice being too, and well, let me. You're Polar Boy. Well, let's see who's better." But meanwhile, Polar Boy's shooting sun out of his hands. So I thought
That's
this was like, I thought that's what Bendis was going to do, like a clubhouse, and then they would all like die, and then the real Legion would have to come and slowly get back together to solve their mystery. I had this
oh
whole thing
wow.
planned, the
You
whole
really
thing.
thought about
Yeah,
this.
that's not what we got.
No, not at all.
Not at
Not
all.
at all. Well, what I love about that idea is that the Legion the Legionnaires are the inspiration for this other Legion. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
cut out the whole Superboy thing, even though I love
Hmm.
that, and you don't have to worry about that connection.
Right.
And as we've been talking about in this conspiracy arc, that whole and in the death of Superboy in issue 38, everything changed when they merged the DC universe, and they had to come up with the pocket universe and all that stuff, right?
Hmm.
To get around it.
Right.
And now that you wouldn't have to do anything with that. It would just be continuing the legacy of the Legion with these new characters. And I just like, this not even take the identities over like you were saying, but just come, make a new Legion and do new things, go new places.
Next generation.
Then that's right. The Legion of superheroes, the next generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put that on a masthead.
Okay. Well, all we can do is wait and see
Yeah.
and hope for the best.
I
It's
know. Where it's like once bitten, twice shy.
yeah.
How many times have Charlito and I talked about this too when we were Golden Eagle a little bit. It's like how many times have we gotten bit by a rebooted Legion and all this stuff. So yeah, this is the Legion. I agree. The Legion. I agree with some comments made by creators over the years that and fans, but the Legion's hard to crack.
Yeah.
They got it once really well, maybe twice, and every time they try to redo the Legion. It just doesn't seem to work out very well or for very long. Which I have some trivia questions for you related to that later.
Cool. Okay. That's great. All right. All like I said, all we can do is wait to see what happens.
Hmm.
And I'm excited for DC right now,
Oh yeah,
So I believe that they could do well by it. Um, so
but again, if it's just retreading old ground, no, thank you. So yeah, we'll see.
all right. Next thing we're gonna do is I wanted to take the moment to celebrate the Legion Project podcast. This is episode 50. And the way I wanted to do that, I teased Eric this, or I actually mentioned it off mic, was I went back to the beginning of our podcast. Only got up to, I wanted to do at least 25, but I got up to 14 episodes just because, I wasn't listening to it every day. I would listen while I was driving and then take notes while I was driving. It was not very smart. Um, as a way to look back to see, well, I didn't know what, but as I started listening, I started to get ideas because there were
Ah,
things that we said in those early episodes. I wonder how we feel about certain things now,
hmm.
50 episodes, 50 issues later, right? As we're almost ready to wrap up. So I'm going to go through a few things. Some might be longer topics than others. Some are just sort of factoids. Hopefully I don't steal any of your trivia stuff. So way, way back in the Legion Project #1, Eric said that he had started to read the Showcase Presents collections of the Legion. So Eric, how far have you gotten in that reading?
Not very.
8 years,
I
Eric.
know. Did I really say that?
That's what you said.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's always been my intention. And in fact, when you first approached me about doing the Legion project, I fully intended to start with Adventure 247 and just read through. And I did not. I did not do that. I've just been as we discuss certain things
Mhm.
that come up that relate to adventure, like any issue really, any early issue of the Legion. I I will go back and read that issue. But no, not sequentially, not, first appearance on. So
Right.
oops, I've already failed.
Oops. All right. Here's another deeper question from episode one. We were already saying this in issue number one. The idea of the adultness or maturation of the Legion in this volume and the tone as well. How do you think that has that kept going since those first five issues or issue one, or what do you think about that topic?
I think so. I think it's continued, or at least it's more fully explored, because that first arc is really about reacting to the Legion of Supervillains attack on them, culminating in a very adult situation in terms of what Queen Projectra does to Nemesis Kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I see less of, I mean, there's still soap opera, right? But what I'm referring to really is like the relationships seem more adult with these characters. The latest, I'll just point out the latest stuff since it's on my mind, is that confrontation between Dawnstar and Phantom Girl about the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
situation with Chameleon Boy, right? And Dawnstar's challenging Phantom Girl, and Phantom Girl's like, "Hey, get out of my face," right? And I I don't think I don't know, because I because I just admitted I haven't read those. I don't think things like that happen before. Um, so I think that they are more they're treated more like adults rather than teens from the future type situation.
Sure, sure. I think in some instances that has kept going.
Hmm.
I also wonder if some of it was Giffen's flavor,
Yeah,
right?
especially since what happens in 5 years later, boy, that really takes off. So
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, we certainly have gotten stories that are heavier,
Hmm.
longer format stories, mysteries, some things that have happened, a lot of crying, which is not that's not strange for the Legion crying, but this is like heavy crying,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, but also coming from, I think, a much deeper level of emotional maturity,
Sure.
right? Brainiac 5 experiencing grief at various times about various people.
Hmm.
I mean, that I think is a very mature thing as compared to, oh, sob, somebody's kissing somebody else, which I'm sure happened in some of those Adventure Comics issues.
All right, cool. Let's keep going. Episode two. Hopefully this is not one of your trivia questions. Episode two, we played the music for the first time.
Ah, yeah. I forgot that we didn't have it on the first one.
Yeah. And I have a date here, August 28, 2013.
Oh boy.
I sent an email to Eric about doing a Legion podcast.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's how far back that seed was before we did your podcast about Legion.
Oh,
And then
you sent that
eventually,
before?
yeah, I guess so. Or was that in reaction to the episode you
I
did?
That was my recollection,
Oh,
but
maybe. You might be right. You might be
I
right.
I will go with whatever you say about timeline. So
Well, maybe we can look up when it was that we did. So August 28, 2013. I sent the email, and then we'll quick look up eventually when we did that episode. You can do that while I read off a few other factoids here. Legion Project episode 3. We talked about Legion of Superheroes Annual 3 because that was the I believe it was the curse when Saturn Girl was had her
yeah,
child,
yeah.
and they were blanketing the universe with darkness. It opens with the original Starfinger. So all the way back there, Starfinger was part of our discussion.
Oh, right. Because wasn't he a pawn of?
Well, he was trying to brainwash Lightning Lad because they were at the same
Oh,
hospital.
right. Yes.
And then Lightning Lad was, yeah, it's not going to work anymore, dude.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. That was a great scene.
Yeah.
But which that was that third
That
annual?
was episode 3. Yeah, the
Oh,
third
episode 3.
annual.
Yeah.
Then we jump to Legion Project number 5, episode 5. I said that we would get to Legion of Three Worlds in 2028. which could actually come
I was
through
gonna say,
in a weird way, in a different way than we talked
yeah,
about
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
But that
Yeah.
is so funny.
And then even in Legion Project episode 6, I said we would get to Superman and a Legion by Johns and Frank in 2028. Interesting. Um, in Legion Project episode 5, this might be a question maybe for I'll save this one for when we wrap up the whole volume. But here's one. So in episode 5, I said Ayla and Vi got turned from C to A listers. We are now 50 issues in. Do we still feel the same?
No,
Okay.
no.
What do you think?
They have. I think they have. While they still make appearances in the
Hmm.
panels, they to me they've kind of faded to the background. But I think that's typical of having such a large cast and Levitz and company wanting to focus on, this character or these characters, right now. The question is, do they come back into the forefront? And I don't think that's going to be the case because of how many issues we have left. But so I think in a lot of ways, some of that character development that we both reacted positively to has been replaced more with more plot driven. Let's move forward with some of these story ideas, and unfortunately, we don't get as much of the characters themselves. Do you disagree?
I think you're right. It goes in and out. And I kind of know something that's coming up
Oh,
that might reverse that.
okay,
But
good. Well, that's great.
yeah, but you're right. Especially the current storyline that we've been reading, and because of DC throwing in events like Millennium and the Superboy saga, and I think it pushed a lot of characters to the background. So, um, Legion Project episode 6 was that issue spotlight on Lightning Lass, and I had an interesting thought. I said, Ayla masquerading as her brother in her earliest appearance,
Hmm.
premise for her sexuality later.
Oh,
Gender switching in the future is probably not a big deal.
I would think it's probably pretty fluid.
Yeah. Which makes, like in an odd, I was like, is in an odd way, could you, not that, I mean, obviously, Silver Age stories were all about
Yeah.
mysteries and masquerading, but there's something very interesting about a twin that's opposite, but then taking on and then what happens to her later, like you could make an interesting story out of that, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, oh shoot, I had a thought, or it could be less about, I'll just say, sexuality, and more about her the fluidity between uh, her as just again, I'll just say female, and her brother. What that could mean with Nathians.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
could be
Mm-hmm.
that could be a really interesting
Yeah,
story.
sure. Sure. That's awesome. Boy, this is a deep one.
Oh
Let me come
boy.
back to that one.
Okay.
From Legion Project episode 10. And you could probably also put this to either issue 12 or 13. Has the book suffered at that time with no Cosmic Boy, but now do you miss having him or any of the Trinity at all? Knowing we have Saturn Girl now, but
Right. Right. Well, Cosmic Boy is one of my favorites, as you know. So I miss seeing him. I miss his leadership, so to speak. I oddly don't miss Lightning Lad at all.
right? Is it because we have Lightning Lass, or is it just
It's
it's a character?
I think his character has really suffered, can which is odd, but considering that issue 45 was the anniversary of the Legion, and there was a lot focused on him. Legion Legionnaires 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Focused a lot on him as well. And yet, and when I first came into the Legion, he was leader at that time. And I remember scenes of him just kind of going off and stuff. And when he quit, being leader. He just resigned. He's kind of presented as a hothead, and he's kind of just like with like, your first question about Ayla and Vi about fading into the background. Boy, he has, which is unfortunate because he's what do they call him? He's a house dad, right? He's taking care of his children, and that could be an interesting side story,
Hmm.
you know. But that's not. I guess maybe we readers at that time, that's not something we would have responded to. I don't know. I would like that, now that I'm much older and have kids and stuff. So
It's also interesting to think about his placement in 5 years later. 5 years later, Legion. He's also sort of
right.
not at the forefront.
Yeah, what do they have? What's their beef with Lightning Lad then?
So your Legion, our Legion talk on your episode was September 28th, 2016.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we might have done your episode because of maybe as a prep. I don't know what, but
Okay. And you said you contacted me about.
in 2013.
Oh,
That's
wow.
that's crazy, right?
Okay.
Maybe that was like this is a good way to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because we sort of considered
It's
that
probably
like
your idea to
I don't know.
too.
We'll have to look back at emails, but maybe there was like Legion Project episode 0, we just didn't know it,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And then because that's what it was, I sent the email. We said we were going to read on our own Legion from the beginning so we could get to five
Yes,
years later.
that's right.
Then we did that episode, because I had done several of your episodes by that point.
Yeah.
And then after that, I said, Eric, let's do it. Let's stop waiting. We've been sitting how many years? And then that's when we finally decided to do the Baxter role.
That's right. Okay.
And a year later, September of 2017, we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Crazy. Fun journey. Here's a great one, Eric. Legion Project episode 12. On celebrating our first year, Eric says, quote, I'll be retiring by the time we get to the end of this.
Ah,
Little did you know.
my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see. I don't know if people listen to every episode that comes into my feed.
Mhm.
Um, and we didn't talk about it on episode 49, did we?
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
we did. Okay.
We did. Yeah.
Okay. So if they're listening, they know this. Yeah. That is, oh my God. I cannot believe I said that. So what, Peter, when are you going to announce your retirement?
Please, I don't work enough to retire. Um, Legion Project episode 14 with the introduction of the new 5 members, Polar
Mhm.
Boy, Magnetic Kid, or Magnetic Lad, whatever the hell his name is. Soon enough, we won't even have to worry about it.
Oh,
Quizlet, Tellus, and Sensor Girl.
right.
You had a comment. You said, well, maybe one of these new members might become someone's favorite. How has that turned out? Either for you, you were talking about the audience, the listeners in general.
Right.
But
Right.
what about for you?
Oh, I mean, I think it's obvious if anybody's been listening along the way, it's Sensor Girl for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is there a second favorite since that's too easy of an answer?
Tell us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just barely. It's unfortunate that they added those members and then didn't really do anything with them. Quizlet. We talked about the Quizlet issue, or I guess appearance. Issues were dealing with that character, but everybody has been so milk toast comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with Saturn Girl back, what does Tellus bring to it other than a potential student? I know he has telepathy, but yeah, when you got people who can fly and have super strength, you don't really need that either.
Yeah. When in the last episode for issue 49, which I thought was a really great discussion, not to pat ourselves on the back, but it is episode 50. Um, I made the comment that I wish Levitz had thought about pitting the new members against the old members
Right. Uh-huh.
because almost all of the new members had a hand in the conspiracy revelation because Polar Boy
Hmm.
was leader, and he's the one who told Tellus to go and suss out what's going on. Sensor Girl's right there, and then I should say Tellus had conversations with Magnetic Kid. What the hell is his
Kid.
name?
It's I
Okay.
believe it's Kid.
Oh God.
Watch. So Mike's gonna tell us we're wrong.
I mean, we both have phones. We can look it up. Um, yeah, like, and there was conversation there, right? And that's the whole reason why they then go to Duo Damsel, So,
Hmm.
and then Sensor Girl, obviously, huge part of uh coming to Tellus and Magnetic Pole. Is his name Pole?
Paul, yeah.
Yeah, coming to them, right, and having a conversation before she then confronts so you only needed Quizlet. You only needed
Yeah.
Quizlet to have something to do to make that entire new blood be the thing, which I thought would have been an amazing
Yes.
culmination, not only to the story, but to if Paul Levitz would have wrapped up at issue 50,
Oh.
to his wrapping up, that would have been an amazing new
Hmm.
thing. So,
Yes.
um,
Totally agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When you asked me what my second favorite is, I completely forgot about Polar Boy.
Well, you've been a little not
Yeah.
sour on him, but
Yeah.
yeah. And I have one more. This might be a big one, and I might need to, save it for um, when we wrap up. And it kind of touches back on something I already said. Without the Trinity, is the Legion missing a core? This was from Legion Project 8. We were already talking about this.
Oh, wow.
Did we regain a core later? Do we still feel like a core is missing? Those are my questions. Because of the conversation that we had, I came up with those questions. Now, I'm going to continue on for a second. At this time, I said, we asked who we thought the core was of this entire volume. I said the core was Element Lad, Dream Girl, Wildfire, and Block. Block.
Mm.
But Eric said Element Lad and the Trinity, also maybe Brainiac 5 and Chameleon Boy.
Huh.
And then we also sort of agreed Shrinking Violet and Lightning Lass as they develop. I think we might have some new thoughts about that, but
Yeah. I
where we
would
are now.
completely change that answer now.
Um, so while you think about that, here's something you also said. And I think you meant that about the story we're currently reading. I don't think you randomly came up with it. I think you said you even thought perhaps the four conspirators could be a core.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wrote here referencing the story we're currently reading as I'm doing this re-listen.
Wow. Okay.
So even back at issue 8 or episode 8.
Now, so wait, how are you defining core?
Like I think it came from an email, like the core of the Legion. Who
Right,
who are the
which
members that really are like the heart of the not the Trinity, but
oh,
like
okay.
well, if it includes the Trinity, but
Sure,
like
sure.
who do you think the core are right now that are, part of this volume holding the Legion?
Oh,
And
see, that's
I said I think we might have been talking about the volume as a whole, even though we were
hmm
only
hmm
8 issues in. I said Element Lad, Dream Girl, Wildfire, and Block. Certainly Element Lad had a big chunk because he was leader.
right.
Dream Girl because she had a lot of moments. We are pre-Censor Girl yet, so we didn't really, you know,
Hmm.
I guess we didn't include them at that time. And then you said Element Lad in the Trinity or maybe Brainiac 5. I think Brainy absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have to now put him as a core
Yeah, I would agree with that.
because he's been in every story we've been reading. He's like the consistent character.
Yes. And I would add Saturn Girl to
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
given especially with the Universal Project
Mm-hmm.
and now the conspiracy thing.
And she's also the whole reason we had the whole mystery of Censor Girl in the first place.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else?
Well, now Censor Girl.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Because
Yes. Yes, yes, I agree with that because, she is, especially now, because she's espousing what basically, the Legion isn't, what you're doing is anti-Legion. It's not,
Hmm.
this is not what the Legion's about. So yeah, that totally makes sense.
And she's been here from the beginning, with
Right.
the eye for the eye story. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Oh boy, yeah.
it's a big question.
You go down a rabbit hole with that one.
I think we'll come. That's another one we need to come back at the end once we
Oh,
get everything, and then we
sure.
can look back and really. I think we nail Brainiac 5 absolutely. Saturn Girl, Sensor Girl. It just depends on how many we want to pick.
That's
Three,
true.
four,
Yeah.
five. 4 or 5 might be. So
I I don't think anybody else at this time.
okay,
I think those are
okay,
good. Those are good choices for now.
all right. Well, there you go. A little look back at the Legion Project podcast. I'll try to do it again for maybe some other episode in the future.
Well, I have some stuff
Yep.
relating to the podcast.
This will be our wrap up. Yes, this will
Yes.
be our wrap up of our preamble.
All right. You mentioned earlier how many episodes, something to do with episodes. I forget now what it was. And I'm like, I have something for that.
Okay.
But now I don't remember what you said. But anyway, how many? I'll start with this. In which year did we release the most episodes?
I'll say the first year because we were probably really in it by that point.
And the first year was
17
2017.
to 18?
Okay. No,
No.
no. It's actually a tie, but for two different years.
We didn't do any tails in that first year, so
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Or at least in the first 12, I should say.
yeah. So 2019 and
Mm-hmm.
2022 both had 11 episodes released. And I'm counting all the
Sure.
Legion Project tales, etc. So
11, that's great.
11,
That's a
yes.
great number for us.
What year had the fewest, the least amount?
Was it the pandemic year?
No.
Oh, I guess because we were bored.
Curiously enough,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me think about it. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, 24.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 5.
Yeah. Okay. But that's still not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised though, especially since it was just last year, and somehow I was not even thinking that 5 compared to 11 for 2 years, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think most of them. I think we averaged about 8 a year
Okay.
for the other year,
Yeah,
other years.
sometimes it feels like, and it's my fault with the editing and all that, and sometimes it's scheduling.
It's
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
But it always feels like how many did we do 2 this year? I'm always
Yeah.
like that. You said the lowest is 5. I'm like, well, that's great. I thought you were going to say we did 2 or something like that.
Well, considering how long some of these episodes are,
True.
In fact, you said something to someone this weekend about the length of the Legion Project at some point. I don't remember who or what the context of the conversation was. But I did already have this data here.
Okay.
So what do you think the shortest episode what the length of the shortest episode?
Probably, I would say like an hour 35.
Ooh, very close.
Mm.
Yeah. Hour 23.
Which episode?
This is also a tie.
Oh,
And I'm just going by the timestamp that's
Yeah.
listed on my podcast
Right.
feed app. Both tales, Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes, and the Legion of Superheroes movies.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. What is the longest episode
That has to be,
before this one?
yeah, before this one. Um, I want to say episode 38, the Death of Superboy issue. I'll say that.
That is correct.
Yeah.
How long?
It was over 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah. Because why? Did we do something special on that one?
Oh, I don't remember now. But there were several issues of things that we covered.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because we had to cover extra chapters from like action or Superman.
Yeah.
We did at least one, or like we did, or did we do it all?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I don't think so.
Maybe,
Everybody's listening going, don't they know their own show?
no, no.
While he's looking at it was actually 3 hours and 48 minutes
Oh
long.
my God, it was almost 4 hours.
Yes.
Eric,
I know.
wow.
Didn't feel like it though when we were
No,
recording it.
no.
I'm sure it did for you though, because it was so late.
Oh, we covered part three and four.
Oh, there you go.
But we did part three, then we did some Who's Who, then we did part four, and that had, yeah, because it's just because they both had main discussions.
Right.
And part three, we had a lot to say about, and part four, we had a lot to say about. But it is the greatest hero of them all. So,
All right. Since we are at issue 50,
mhm.
sorry, episode 50 and issue 50.
And issue 50.
I was really referring to episode, but anyway, um, I hope this is a fair question for you. I'm sure you'll know this, but which volume of the Legion of Superheroes reached 50 issues?
Just 50 issues?
Just 50. And
Oh,
ended at 50.
oh, got it. Okay, I was confused because I was
Sorry.
like, Eric,
A
this one.
lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of them. Uh, which one ended in 50? Was it the I've oh, was it the Legion? Just the Legion? Or you're not counting that because
Um, I am.
it's I was okay, I'll give you two answers. It's either the Legion or the three boot Mark Wade volume.
That is it.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to think because Jim Shooter came back and
Right.
I don't have those later issues, a lot of those, so I didn't remember what I don't even know. Maybe I don't even think I knew that.
Yeah.
I just sort of guessed that one.
Since you mentioned the Legion, though,
Mhm.
I kind of because it's not called Legion of Superheroes,
Right.
right? I'm referring to it as volume 4.5 for our
Okay.
purposes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Episode 50 or issue or 50. 50. The number is 50. Not counting the Bendis Sook volume, which volume had fewer than 50 issues before it ended? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did that make sense?
New 52 Legion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legion of Superheroes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. It was like seven in the teens or in the 20s.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but there's there's two volumes. One preceded New 52.
Oh, you're right.
So both volumes, but volume 6 and 7. Even though it's really
One volume.
thematically,
Which one was
it's
shorter?
one volume.
I think the new 52 one
Probably,
was shorter. I think.
yes.
Well, maybe not, because that one
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
they relaunched it, and yeah, it seemed like it had a short run, and they were canceling it,
yeah.
and then started over. So, and then there is another one. It's the Legion at 48 issues.
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
but
that
that's definitely
specifically.
longer than the other ones.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
God, they couldn't just do two more and get to 50.
Right?
I hate when they do
I
that.
I agree. Totally agree with that. Okay. Got one more question, but I'll let you
Yep.
look that up.
So the 2010 was shorter.
Okay.
The
Mhm. That
pre
makes
New
sense.
52, because it started in 2010. It was only 16, and then the
Right.
New 52 was 23.
Okay. I was thinking along those lines, but I could not remember.
Cool.
Actually, the second one went a little bit longer than I thought. I thought it
Yeah.
was like 22 or something, but
Okay.
anyway. All right. Final question that I
Mhm.
have for you today. What has changed about the Legion for you? Doing this examination that we've been doing now for 50 plus issues.
Mhm. What has changed about the podcast
No,
or
just
the
your thoughts about the Legion
Oh,
milieu, the characters, the
yeah.
stories, the title.
we talked about this at Golden Eagle with someone. I don't know if it was Mr. Phil or whoever, where they said, "Do we ever go back to the Legion, the old Legion?" And I said, "Well, we do when we get to connect backwards. We don't just randomly go back. We try to connect a current story to an issue, like the first appearance of Universo or Time Trapper or whatever." And I love doing that. What has changed? Probably that I'm getting more and more educated. Even though I still have a lot to learn, I'm getting more and more educated. That this volume, let me talk about this volume, that this volume is even richer than I thought.
Yeah.
Because I read this as a kid and loved it. And now, and yes, as we freely admit, we love to put more on it than probably there is at times because we love to make connections. But isn't that what the Legion fans do all the
Yeah.
time? Isn't that why we got some of the elements of 5 years later? Because there are these crazy theories and suppositions that people had about certain characters. And so we're just doing what Legion fans have been doing. And if we're long-winded or too academic, it's because this is how deep we get to talk about it, you
Hmm.
know? Um,
And because there's stuff there, or we're bringing our own interpretations of that stuff
mhm.
to it to enrich it
Yeah.
and enjoy it more. I mean, I, I'm sure you've read books that other books as a
Hmm.
kid, and then
Hmm.
you return to them as you get older, maybe multiple times, and every time you do that, you find something new about it. Even though you've read, the plot, the characters, and yet you find something,
Right.
some nugget or something that maybe you didn't realize when you were 14, and but when you're 30, right? To Kill a Mockingbird is my classic example.
Mm.
I've read that book several times over the years, and every time I read it, I have a deeper appreciation for it.
Right.
So comics are the same thing for me.
Yeah. I mean, we do a podcast and we like to talk about the Legion, right? And it's fun for us. Like we've developed a format and or we developed a way to talk about it. And yeah, we probably go on too long about one issue, but we have thoughts to say. They mean something. We're making connections all the way back to issue one. And then it'll be really interesting reading all 63 issues and annuals. And then if we go back, how are those older stories now? How are they going to read? Because we are going to think forward, right? Like it's what we try not to do when we talk about this book and the
Hmm.
5 years later. We're like, don't
Oh
jump
yeah,
the
yeah,
timeline, right?
yes.
But when we go back and read those older ones, isn't it going to be fun to go, oh, look at this. This connects to the Baxter, what we talked about in the Baxter, right? Like, even if it's not a direct connection, we can now make those connections,
Hmm.
Um, which if we would have started from the very first appearance of the Legion, we could still do that, but only based on what we read. But now we're going to be reading both of us finally reading the entire Baxter run because there are issues coming up I have not read. So, if we would have gone back, we would have been like, oh, I wonder if that connects to later things. Well, I don't
Yeah,
know. We haven't read it in how many years? Well, now we have. So
yeah.
now we go backwards or forwards, it's going to be even more. So, um, I still love the Legion. I still love this volume for all the faults that it has and the roller coaster ride of how good and then good and then But I think I always knew that.
Hmm.
Um, we talked about the tone of it. I still think it has the same tone. It lives in its own volume, right? Like the Baxter run means something. 5 years later means something.
Hmm.
Pre-Baxter run, that's a lot of mean somethings, right? Like you got to go, look, what do you do? What are you talking about? The Mike Grell era? Maybe it's like artists. I don't know, the
Right.
Mike Grell or the Jim Shooter era, right? The writing, and then Paul
Mm.
Levitz comes in or whoever else, I don't know how do you divide all of that? I'm
Right.
sure that I'm sure hardcore Legion people do, but when you say Baxter run, boom, Universal Project, Superboy, Sensor Girl, you got things. So I still love it for what it is. And I think you were talking to Shane at Golden Eagle, and he purchased 5 years later, years ago, and only in the last several months I was like, he wants to read it, and I'm like, you don't know Legion? Maybe read the volume before. Read the Baxter run,
Yeah.
just to kind of get a good. It's not going to give you everything, but you'll be more familiar. Ooh, there's my stomach. You'll be more familiar than if you jump into 5 years later.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like, hey, I've never read DC before. What should I read? Go read Crisis.
No.
What?
No.
No. Hey, I've never read comics before. What should I read? Read Watchmen. No.
Yes. Yeah.
No. No, no, no.
I mean, no.
No, don't. No. So it's not quite to that level, but
Hmm.
so yeah, to your question. Yeah, I still love the Legion. I still look forward to it. Um, I still haven't read issue 50 yet, even though
Oh,
I
really?
released the ad. No, I haven't read it. I sort of wait. I wait, until I know we have a date,
Hmm.
and then
Oh, okay.
and then I can kind of like, okay, let's get to it. So,
Uh-huh.
what about your answer to that question?
Oh, same. In terms of, I still love the Legion. In fact, if you before we started doing this, if you would have asked me what my favorite run of comics are, what my favorite comic book concept maybe, I would have said New Teen Titans,
Mm-hmm.
right? Mostly for what Wolfman and Perez put on the page, how they develop those characters. I mean, Robin is my freaking favorite character, Dick Grayson, because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But talking with you about the Legion, and I know the Legion has always been. In fact, as I'm doing my comics history episodes on my feed, I'm rediscovering when I was introduced to things. And I came to the Legion before the Titans. And so they've been in my life for longer. But it was always, Titans, Legion, right?
Yeah.
Now it's almost to the point where I'm like, no, Legion. When someone asks me that, the first thing that pops in my head is Legion.
Wow.
And it's because of how we are discussing these issues and what we're discovering and what we're postulating at times, which is I think is a lot of fun when we do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. I have a great appreciation for what, and we've talked about this before, but what Levitz has done with the female characters
Mm-hmm.
and developing them and giving them the forefront. And yeah, and also I'll just say, I really had to up my podcasting game talking with you because how much you think really deeply about these things and you were making these connections and I thought I was pretty good at evaluating a comic book. But like, oh no, I gotta do my homework here. So
What's collaboration?
yeah,
And we bounce off each other so well.
yes,
And I think in that original email, my impulse was because I enjoyed listening to you on your solo podcast. And I was like, oh, I bet you we could do a good podcast together. You know, if we have 10 listeners, if we have 100 listeners, if 5,000, whatever, that doesn't matter. Like, we get to cover it the way we have grown to cover it,
right,
and, you know, um, it's fun. It's what I love about podcasting, and it's what I love about collaboration and art and all that other stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like you said, I do my own show. I do a solo podcast for the most part. But it's our conversations, or when I'm talking with another, those collaborating, this because you do CGS.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like interacting with someone and discovering new points of view, things you just overlooked or you can't see at times until somebody says something. And you've done that with me many times. It's like, wow, I did not read that way, or I glossed over that completely. And so, yeah, you help enrich my reading of these stories.
Yeah.
And I just again, that's why I think, like I said, when someone asked me, Legion is starting to pop up to the
Wow.
top more and more.
That's awesome.
And it's mostly, I've mostly read volume 2 and volume 3,
Hmm.
and the 5 Year Later. I read all that. A smattering of others, but I certainly have not read the depth and breadth of the Legion across all publishing time.
Right.
So
Right.
there's a lot for me to catch up on,
Same
and
here.
I can't wait to get to it. But I got all these other things to read too.
Yeah. Sure. 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 Well, good. Good questions. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
great way. I think that's a great way to celebrate episode 50.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I can't
So
believe I said some of those things that you heard.
it's amazing. It's always great to go back. If you're a podcaster and you don't go back to your old episodes, I think you should. You get some really great. Sure, there's some of us that have like years of. It's hard, but every now and then, just pop one of your old classics on and like go. Did I really say that? Okay, cool. And then make connections and
Yeah.
you know, because that's what the listeners do. That's evident this weekend where people are like, "Remember when you guys?" And I said, "No, I don't remember that at all." No. So like I said, I'm gonna continue through, and by the end of the year, but by the end of the volume, I'll have probably more things that I've said or you've said. So
Okay. Since you just said that, I had an interaction on you via YouTube
hmm
because my episodes get posted to YouTube as well. And this person, I think his name was Mike. I was going to look it up, but I don't want to start something in case it starts playing or something. But uh, he was listening to one of the episodes about. Oh man, now I'm going to blank on it. But apparently, I said something on about one of the characters. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up.
okay,
Sorry.
that's okay.
But anyway, he said something about something I had either said incorrectly or was asking a question, and he gave me the answer, and I wrote back and I said, "Oh, did I say something wrong?" Because I don't remember.
Right.
Right? And he's like, "Yeah, do that." Um, oh gosh, why can't I find? There it is. Sorry for the editing.
That's all right.
Oh, nope. I said Mike. It was Robert. Robert. Let's see here. He says this is. Oh, he's uh, had listened to uh, our Legion of episode our Legion of Superheroes Spotlight
hmm
that episode
hmm
0 that you mentioned, and he said it was the first appearance in action with Supergirl. Yeah, that's right. That they said they were the children of the Superboy Legion,
hmm
right? And that's when I'm like, oh no, I said I think we addressed that in a later episode or maybe that episode. I mean, you probably said something
Yeah, I
about
think
it.
we did.
Yeah, he said that. Oh, here we go. This is the thing I was thinking of. Sorry. Duo Damsel had the mad crush on Superboy. She eventually married Bouncy Boy. Yeah. And that's why I said, did I say the wrong person? It was so long ago. I, I'm sure I probably said like
Oh,
Shadowlands or something
yeah,
because I was thinking of that uh, uh, when they go to Talak 8,
yeah,
and this is I think her first appearance, and then she becomes a Legionnaire after
yeah,
that. But yeah, it was like I we've done this for so long now, and memory it's just.
yeah,
But it's fun to see someone interact like that,
yeah.
and also to keep us honest
Yeah,
at
sure. I
times.
mean, you have to make mistakes. Yeah, not on purpose,
Oh
but
yeah,
you're going to make mistakes or slip of the tongue, or like calling an issue an episode and calling an episode an issue, or like yeah, we're because we freely admit we don't call ourselves Legion experts. I don't want to be an expert on
hmm
this. I love learning.
yeah,
I don't want to be dry about my facts, I want to be real about them and discover them in real time and like these relationships and like, oh, but yeah, but remember this person had a crush on it in Adventure. I'm like, I don't, okay, whatever.
right,
Yeah, all right, I'll get there when I get there.
yeah,
Like you can only, in script analysis for playwriting, you can only deal with what's on the page. We know how to do that, even if we extrapolate and do other things,
yeah,
So you know, in our podcast, we're dealing with the Baxter run. If things counteract that in previous stories, don't mean anything because it's not in
right,
this thing. unless we make it about that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing with the future, right? Like we love to play that game, but those books haven't been written yet in the way we're doing our podcast, you know. So but yeah, you know, reflection as we're doing now, we're taking time to reflect on our anniversary. Um is good. It's healthy. It motivates you. It keeps you going. It gives you new ideas. And I always enjoy taking time for an anniversary and saying, let's take a moment, navel gaze a little bit,
Yeah.
celebrate, especially if you're dealing with a co-host, a partner, an ensemble. Stop and chit chat, you know? Especially if you're not if there's no connection prior to you podcasting and you're learning that connection as which is what we've done, but we also had like a little bit of a connection before.
Hmm.
But, you know, because then your relationship is only podcast, you
Yeah.
know, and you need to grow it. The best ones are ones that where the people really knew each other, you know, and how to bounce ideas off each other and stuff like that. And we just fortunately were able to develop that quickly. And yeah, it's made for a hell of a fun time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. So you originally, when you going back to that email where you were proposing this idea, or I'm sure that was later, but or this was later. You talked about, you know, getting together, banging out like 2 to 3 episodes in one sitting. You ever regret that we didn't do
No.
that?
No,
Yeah,
because once we
because
once we started doing it, I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. No, no. And again, we don't do it every week. If
right.
we were doing a weekly podcast or even like two a month, I think we would have to
Oh yeah,
be briefer, you
sure.
know?
But then we lose that, I think, that richness
Yeah.
that we have developed talking about it, you know, in 2.5 hour
Yeah.
increments,
Yeah.
depending.
Yeah. No, it became what it was just going to become.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't control those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife, just so you know, maybe I've told you this before. My wife is like, how can you talk about one issue for that long? I'm like, you don't understand comics or comic fans, I guess I should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. The way our brains work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any last words for the preamble?
I would just like to, you know, I think we do this at the end, but up front, I just want to say thank you to the listeners
Yes.
for listening. Like we were at Golden Eagle and Charlito's. You know, you were talking to Charlito, talking about Legion. I was talking to somebody else, but I was hearing some Legion talk going on, and eventually I was able to come over and say, "What the heck?" And he's like, "Oh, you're the other
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the Legion project." Um, so you know, it's just like it's amazing that people are listening. I mean,
Mhm.
I think about that all the time about just my show, but there are, you know, the Legion fans out there that are craving or at least appreciating some content about the Legion and our
Right.
love for it. I think that's really the thing.
Right.
We're expressing our love for the Legion through this medium, in this way, and they're responding to that.
Yeah.
You know, we get that from the feedback that we've gotten, the conversations that we have, you know, and just you and I, just on a personal level, talking about this stuff. So, um, you know, thank you everybody for that, and thank you, Peter, for wanting to start this journey with me, and continuing
Yeah.
with me on this. So, yeah, it's
Awesome.
been so much fun.
Yep.
I
Thank you.
love it.
Yeah. It's a collaboration. Definitely. Couldn't do it without you. So, all right. So this wraps up the preamble. This also will wrap up the live portion of this episode. I
Sigh.
know. Whenever we get around to actually recording the meat of the episode, hopefully sooner, rather than later, you know, we'll figure that out. I know you're traveling and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, you might be listening to this weeks after this whole event has wrapped up, but the rest of the episode will be us back on Zoom, going right into episode, issue 50 and whatever else we have for the rest of the episode. So thank you for indulging us at least for this first part. It was fun for us to do. And I hope it was fun for you to do, Eric.
Oh yeah, this has been fantastic. I'll tell you, this has been a dream of mine to be in the CGS studio
Oh, there you
and
go.
and doing this. So
Nice.
yeah,
Well, there you go. Dream met.
that's right.
All right, we'll be back for our next part in a little bit.